Do you feel that, no matter how hard you try, it seems like the person you love is always distant, as if there is an invisible barrier between you? It's as if, even if you wanted to ask, he would never reveal what is really inside him. There is something heavy, suffocating in the air, that he may not even realize, but that you feel with every fiber of your being. Your heart picks up every signal, every nuance of what he truly feels. And that's exactly why you are here now. There is a powerful message waiting for you, a secret that can change everything. Stay with me, because today you will discover how to break through this barrier and create a connection so deep that nothing can separate you. You are a unique presence in this person's life, someone who occupies a space that no one else can fill. It's not just about being present, but about being essential, about being the piece that makes the whole puzzle complete. When this person interacts with you, it's as if everything in them is rearranged, as if you are the axis around which many things revolve. It's an energy that leaves no doubt about how important you are to them. The way they categorize the world is quite peculiar. Each person, each situation, everything is put into its own little box. However, when it comes to you, this takes on a whole new dimension. There is a willingness to surrender, to be vulnerable, but this vulnerability comes with nuances that are not always easy to decipher. The question is not just what you mean to them, but the huge impact that your presence has on their life. The most curious thing is that often, this behavior they exhibit is not directly related to something you did or said. It's more about how they see you, the importance you have in their world. You are a central point, something indispensable, and this affects them in ways that maybe even they don't fully understand. There is a deep sense of misunderstanding, as if she thinks you will never truly understand her. This is not because you don't try or don't care, but because she herself has created this barrier, perhaps as a way to protect herself. When you talk, especially about subjects involving feelings, it's common for her to say things she thinks you want to hear, instead of exposing what really goes on in her mind. It's not that she wants to deceive or manipulate you, but this is a way she found to protect her own heart. It's as if there's a limitation she placed herself, a block that prevents her from being completely open and honest. Even if she desires to open up more, to be more truthful, this internal barrier is there, often insurmountable, preventing that from happening. Something you may not have realized yet is that the subconscious mind functions almost like an automatic program. This means that, in many situations, people act on impulse, repeating behavior patterns that are deeply ingrained. When you interact with someone who seems to behave strangely or inconsistently, this is often linked to these internal programming. It could be that something in the dynamics between you is triggering these repetitive attitudes. Understand that she's not doing this intentionally. Most of the time, she doesn't even realize how she's acting. But the impact is real, especially when she starts treating you in a way you simply don't understand. She may see you in a specific way, influenced by her own experiences and beliefs. And then you start to wonder, will this ever change? Is this person willing to change how they see you? Or will they remain trapped in this distorted view? Many times, this situation is deeply connected to the feeling of rejection. Even unintentionally, he may be projecting his own insecurities and fears onto you. It's as if he is using you as a mirror, reflecting his own frustrations and anxieties. And this can become a major obstacle to the growth and deepening of the connection between the two of you. He feels lost, not knowing exactly why, but something inside him tells him that you don't understand him. It's a disconcerting feeling, almost as if he is screaming in silence, hoping someone will listen, but no one seems to hear. The truth is that nowadays, he feels deeply misunderstood, as if his worldview is completely ignored. He wished he could tell you that nobody is perfect, that everyone has their flaws, and that making mistakes is part of being human. Furthermore, he wanted you to know that you also have your imperfections. He doesn't see you the same way anymore. If you compare what he feels now to what he felt in the beginning, you will notice a significant change. In the beginning, he saw you as an open, approachable person, someone with whom he could be himself, without masks. But now, all of that seems to have changed in a way he can't even explain. Today, he feels like he's constantly walking on eggshells around you, as if any word or gesture could trigger an unwanted reaction. He censors himself, something he never had to do before. This new behavior shows that the relationship between you has reached a critical point, where the shared energy has become so specific and intense that he can no longer be who he was. This change didn't happen out of nowhere. It was probably something that occurred recently, some event, an isolated situation that triggered this transformation. Since then, he has taken on a more cautious role in your presence, as if he is always on guard, attentive to what he says, concerned about not doing anything that might displease you or make you think poorly of him. This is a direct result of how you have been responding to him lately. The dynamics between you have changed, and he feels it even in the subtlest moments, in every conversation, in every exchange of glances, even in the simple fact of being in the same environment. He notices all of this, even if he doesn't speak openly about it. And this perception consumes him, makes him question what went wrong, what changed between you. He wants to understand, wants to find a way back to that connection you had before. But at the same time, he is afraid. Afraid that this change is irreversible, that you will never be like before again. And that, to him, is a scary prospect. He wishes you could see things through his eyes, understand what's going on inside his mind, but he knows it's not that simple. Deep down, he just wants to be understood again, wants to feel that you are still in the same tune, that your connection can be restored. And until that happens, he continues to self-censor, to repress himself, hoping that somehow, this will help bring back what was lost. But the truth is he misses how things were before, how everything was simpler, lighter. And he just wants to find a way back to that. Lately, it seems like something has changed between the two of you. You know, that genuine connection you had, where he felt comfortable being completely himself, seems to be fading. Before he could open his heart, express himself in a raw, real way without filters. But now he is more withdrawn, more cautious. What happened? He used to trust you completely, felt secure enough to share even the most intimate thoughts, without fear of being judged or misunderstood. But suddenly, all of that has changed. Maybe you haven't noticed, but the way you have been responding to him is different. It can be a tone of voice, a choice of words, or even a different energy that you are emanating. Whatever it is, it has deeply affected him. Now, he hesitates. Before speaking, he thinks 2-3 times. Will what he is going to say be well received? Will you still see him in the same way after he opens up? These doubts are taking over, and he is starting to close himself off, avoiding those deep conversations you used to have. He is becoming more self-conscious, more concerned about not saying anything that could change your perception of him. It's as if every word he says could be misunderstood, and that is making him anxious. And the truth is that it hurts because he doesn't want to lose the connection you had, but at the same time, he doesn't know how to reverse the situation. He seems to be going through a complicated moment regarding how he sees you and perceives your actions and words. It could be that initially he placed you in a prominent place, almost as an example to be followed. This is common when we admire someone or see qualities that we would like to have in ourselves. But suddenly, something changed. Perhaps it was something you said or did, or even something you didn't say. He may have interpreted your silence as disapproval or judgment. He might be feeling that you are no longer at the same level of understanding or support as before. It seems that at some point, you didn't fully agree with everything he did or said, and that created a fracture in his perception of you. Now, he may be more defensive, as if he were protecting himself from possible criticisms or judgments that he believes you could make. This doesn't mean that you did something wrong. In fact, it is possible that your opinion or silence was just a way to respect his space, not to interfere, or simply not to agree with something politely. But for him, this may have seemed like a lack of support or a change in attitude. It's almost as if he expected you to always be an unconditional support, and when he realized that you also have your own opinions and boundaries, it made him reassess your relationship. This kind of situation can be very delicate, especially if the man is someone who is not used to making space for other opinions or criticisms. He may be projecting onto you expectations that you may not even have been aware of. This can make him feel helpless or somehow betrayed, even if that was not your intention. He no longer sees you just as someone who peacefully lives in your thoughts, taking things passively and predictably. Now he perceives you as an essential part of himself, an integral part that has opinions and views that expand the world around him. And the truth is that this feeling does not disappear. This man operates in cycles, and there is a very intense cyclical energy emanating from him. It's intriguing to notice that, even if he consciously tries to distance himself from you, something inside him continues actively seeking your presence subconsciously. You may notice a subtle change in his demeanor or mood when interacting with him. It seems like there is something he wants to share with you, but he holds back, avoiding going down that path. During conversations, he may bring up certain topics just to probe your mind, trying to understand your intentions and feelings. This tense energy is noticeable, almost as if he is projecting his own uncertainties and emotions onto you, in a not-so-subtle way. Perhaps he doesn't even realize what he's doing, but the intensity of this energy is undeniable. If you have the gift of reading energies, you may be picking up on something in his aura that is slightly off balance, without being able to pinpoint exactly why. Due to its extremely reserved nature, he may have unconsciously brought a lot of emotional baggage into this connection. There may be events from the past influencing this behavior, causing him to enter situations or relationships with certain assumptions about how you will act or respond. Sometimes, it seems like this person made the decision, at some point in their life, not to fully surrender to love. The energy he emanates shows this in an almost palpable way, indicating that he probably has a very valid reason for this attitude. He is clearly a man in search of love, but due to this unconscious block in his subconscious programming, he ends up pushing away precisely what he desires most, to live a full and true love by his side. This block can manifest in various ways, such as convincing himself that he is unhappy or even adopting behaviors that, unknowingly, repel his energy. And the most striking thing is that all this happens completely unconsciously. When we look at the situation from a spiritual perspective, we can see that this man was, at some point in life, subconsciously programmed by someone, a place, or a traumatic past experience. These unresolved traumas created deep emotional blocks. Perhaps he has not sought psychological help or has not reflected enough on these painful experiences, and as a result, he continues to manifest similar experiences, repeating negative patterns in life. Therefore, it's not that he doesn't trust anyone, but rather that he has been placed in so many distrustful situations that he no longer knows how to trust people, even when there are no concrete reasons for it. Unfortunately, it seems that this person, in some way, ended up putting your connection in the same category of distrust, even though you have done nothing to deserve it. He protects himself, builds barriers, perhaps out of fear of getting hurt again. It's as if, without realizing it, he's reliving old wounds, placing them ahead of new possibilities. You touched on a sensitive point, unveiling a facet of this person that he may not even be aware of. If you truly understood the depths of what he is repressing, that would be a shock. This has to do with the difference between the image he projects and who he really is. It's very easy for him to connect and ask for things, to set intentions based on what he desires. But when you enter his mind, you understand that there is a hidden version, one that is attracted to certain energies, certain types of people. No matter how much he tries to convince himself of what he wants, his subconscious will always seek what he truly needs, influenced by the way he was taught to see love. You feel the effects of this, whether it be physical, emotional, mental, or spiritually. We all seek an energetic signature in love, which can be of high, low vibration, or a mixture of both. What stands out is that this is not something innate, but is revealed over time through our patterns and reactions to the people we choose to love. This also has to do with your light, your gentle heart, and how it impacts this man. It may be very different from how your light affects other people in your life, because in romantic connections, you reveal aspects of this man that no one else sees and that he cannot hide. He may feel that he is exposing all his sides to you, but the truth is that everyone has a dark side. Every person on this planet has two sides. The difference here is that when talking to you, he is communicating with both aspects of his being. Other people may have simple interactions with him, but you do not have that luxury. You see everything. Even if he never says it, he knows that you see everything. This is why he continues to be drawn to you, no matter how raw or provocative your conversations may be. There is authenticity and reality in them. It's as if every time he is in your presence, his energy says, I see you very clearly. He may be trying to understand how you manage to pick up on things that he really doesn't want to reveal, but with this dynamic, that's not possible. He feels exposed, as if all his secrets and vulnerabilities are laid bare before you. This is about attracting a certain type of energetic signature, which is extremely important to him. While he may think he aligns with you because of your similarities or things you have discussed, or simply because he truly sought a connection with you, you align with him because, deep down, this man desires to be seen for all that he is. But there is an aspect to consider. This captures not only that energy of fear, but also the push and pull dynamics in this connection, where this man runs to you to be seen and then pulls away because of what you see. He wants to open up, but at the same time fears being judged or rejected. So definitely, this may be capturing some kind of weight from your past, or it may simply be a part of himself that he has accepted and integrated. But it's almost as if he's at the point where he wants to know if you can handle all of it, and also if you are capable of doing so without judgment. He longs for total acceptance, for someone who can see his flaws and still value him. That's where this energy comes from, in which he wants you to know that everyone makes mistakes and that you're not a perfect human being because only God is perfect. It's almost as if this person entered into this connection, really putting you on a pedestal. So regardless of how you present yourself, what kind of knowledge you have, or what kind of life experience you possess, the way you introduced yourself really put this man on a pedestal. He idealizes you, and that makes everything even more complicated, because the more he starts peeling back the layers of who he really was, the more he begins to project onto you something still hidden or something that this man may consider not to be socially acceptable. The energy that each human being carries within themselves is fascinating. The more we try to hide or suppress that energy, the more it grows and intensifies. When someone decides to open their heart and share their emotions and thoughts, whether with trust or in a casual conversation, it allows a deeper glimpse of their being. This process not only reveals what is in their heart, but also offers a new perspective on life and love. Being alongside this person triggers this transformation. In fact, one of the greatest purposes of this connection is for you to see this man in his essence, understand his nuances, and love him unreservedly. And in doing so, you also begin to love yourself more, because this man is a reflection of your own being. There is an evident connection between the energies you attract and the experiences you have had in the past. You were placed by God on the path of this person to reignite love in his heart, after a period of great discouragement and apathy. The emotions you awaken in him are so intense that they make him question if he has ever experienced true love before. The difference between what he feels now and what he felt in previous connections is gigantic. He may have entered past relationships with a closed heart, unable to fully open up due to subconscious barriers. This is not his fault. At this moment, he is going through a challenging process because you have come to question those barriers. You may be the first person to challenge him to rethink his beliefs about life and love. You are likely the first person to ask why, when this man shares his thoughts and talks about past experiences. You challenge him intellectually and make him reflect on why he feels what he feels. Of course, this man is not used to this. Your approach, the way you interact with him with genuine curiosity, questions and challenges his thought process. When you do this, or when he is talking to you, or when you respond, he may have assumed that you were judging in some way. But in fact, you were trying to understand him, to comprehend how he thinks and moves in this world. This process of questioning has revealed aspects about him that have never been challenged or explored before. There is something very powerful in the energy of curiosity, especially in relationships, because it is a subtle way to unravel the mind. I don't know what kind of power you have, but you have definitely changed the energy of this man. He entered into this connection perhaps without desiring to go so deep, but you activated his heart space. Any plans he had for you initially changed significantly. But the best part of this is that this unfolding happened very naturally, highlighting that this is truly your true role in his life. You are someone who aligns with him to challenge him, and you only challenge him because you are truly aligned to bring out the best version of him. However, this may not always be beautiful. This man knows the truth about this connection and is grasping the reason why this energy materialized. There was something you saw in him from the start. You saw behind the mask, saw the truth about him, saw the real person that no one else really sees. Maybe there isn't even a logical reason to feel this way, but you knew it from the beginning, and that's why the connection developed the way it did. Many of the things that happened may not make sense to you as you try to put things in chronological order, or even looking at this connection in a linear way, but it's as if you had been guided to do or say things in this connection that you had never done before. All of this was divinely orchestrated. If you can describe in your own words, it's because deep down you knew the truth about him. In this way, both were put in a position to challenge themselves or even to probe each other in a way they wouldn't have done with anyone else. And there was a higher purpose in it. This also highlights how powerful a true love connection is, because it manifests with both feeling very deep emotions for each other from the start, without being able to understand what they are feeling and why. But the more you allow yourself to truly dive into your heart space and flow, the more revelations are made about your connection and about this man. And the only way to do that is through genuine curiosity. So you might not even be aware of how powerful your light is, but you have definitely illuminated it, and also the subconscious mind of this man, who may be holding on to very dark or painful moments from the past, and has been carrying that unconsciously for a long time. When you are close to this person, something magical happens. The connection you both have is so deep that it allows him to show his true essence. This bond is not only intense but also transformative. He feels a unique attraction to you because your presence challenges him in ways that no one else can. And this is essential for him. It's as if he needs your energy to feel complete. As you get to know each other better, he starts to open up more, revealing his most intimate layers. The reason for this is simple. You provide a safe space where he can be who he really is, without fear of judgment. This is a rare and incredibly attractive quality, something he values immensely. And the truth is that, even without realizing it, you have a huge influence on him. If you happen to be distant, he still needs you. Even if you are not physically present, he misses you and keeps a special place for you in his heart. He is going through a period of great changes, and during this process, your opinion and presence are more important than ever. He may be sensitive right now, perhaps more than you realize, but this only shows how much you mean to him. He is on a journey of self-discovery, trying to understand not only his light, but also his shadows. And you have a crucial role in this. Your energy, your way of being, helps him integrate all parts of himself, to accept who he truly is. This is not something small, it is a responsibility and a privilege. So, keep being who you are. Continue showing him that it is safe to be vulnerable, that it is possible to be fully accepted. Your kindness, your authenticity, are qualities that touch him deeply. And even if sometimes you doubt, know that you are making a huge difference in his life. This connection you two have is powerful and transformative, something he values more than he can express. And remember, it is not just about what you do, but who you are. Your presence, your energy, have the power to transform. Be patient, be kind, and continue to show him that he is loved and accepted just as he is. This is the true essence of a deep and meaningful connection. And that is why he keeps coming back to you, seeking your energy, because he knows you are the person who can help him transform, find himself, and be truly happy. Allow your spirit to absorb these words and feel them resonate deeply within you. The universe wishes the best for you and will ensure a positive outcome, no matter what your decision may be. Type, "I receive and accept my destiny and all that the universe has to offer me" to claim this message and the blessings contained within it for yourself. Leave a positive comment for other viewers who may need a boost of positivity in their day. The universe sees this as an act of kindness. Let's lift each other up and create waves of good energy together. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and stay tuned for the important message that awaits you in the next video. May God and the universe light your path with peace, love, and faith. Amen.